We got Haitian food mukbang that is about to be lit. I hope you guys enjoy. Los and Chef Tina Lee. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Los, and we are back with another vlog. I'm here with the boss queen,
Tina. Tina's good. Tina's really good.
the beautiful
The Tina.
chef
Tina is so nice and simple.
Tina Lee.
Oh gosh, he's embarrassing. Embarrassing.
What's up, girl?
Los, I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you so
You
much.
look blessed.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
It's my
Because
pleasure.
I know you're busy. You
It's my
have to
pleasure.
do it. And two, buying this spread. This is really nice.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
So what are we eating today, Chef?
All right, so here we have, I ordered a Griot simp because I didn't want to do all rice, but this is Griot simp, which is pork.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be braised really nicely until it's about fork tender and then flash fried. and
Okay.
served. This is our crack conch. I thought I was ordering stew conch. So it's supposed to come in a sauce, but it's crack conch, Bahamian style, obviously.
Okay.
This isn't so big in Haitian culture.
Right.
More so Bahamians.
Yes.
It's like a big island thing.
Yes.
But we like to stew it. Haitians typically like to stew it,
Okay.
not fry it.
Gotcha.
And this is their supposedly mushroom rice. But if you know the real Haitian mushroom rice,
Yeah.
you should get like this instant, deep, earthy aroma.
Mhm.
So this isn't really made with the actual.
Okay.
It's a mushroom that's literally indigenous to Haiti. That's
Really?
cultivated. Yeah, it's a mushroom. It's a dry.
Okay,
And
I'm
it's
getting
dried.
vibes today.
Oh yeah, it's dried. You have to boil it to produce the broth, and the broth is actually what makes it black.
Wow.
And it gives it like
I
this
didn't know
deep
that.
mushroom flavor. Yeah. Yeah. So they just trick y'all out y'all money, but but it's cool. I'm educate y'all.
Wow.
And over here you have oxtails, which is a stew as
Okay.
well. See, we don't do oxtails like Jamaicans, but when I do oxtails, I actually do it like an Asian, Jamaican, Haitian influence.
Really?
So where it's like the tomato
Are
base.
oxtails popular in Haiti?
Very. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, we pretty much see the thing with Haitian cuisine. They take everything
Okay.
and make something out
Makes
of it,
it.
but
Sure.
especially with stewing, because a lot of the cuts of meat, if you couldn't afford it, you had to get whatever cuts you can get,
Thanks.
and you have to braise it to tenderize it.
Got you.
So we freak anything.
Okay.
And then this is legume,
Ooh, okay.
cabbage based.
Mhm.
I'm sure you've had
Yeah.
it before.
Oh, yeah.
Tomato based sauce.
Yeah.
And typically you get, it's like a surf and turf usually. You get blue crabs in there. You get cheap cuts of beef, but they're tenderized and they're
Mhm.
really tender at the end. People put all types of stuff in there. Even
Yeah.
pig parts can go in there. So that should
Ooh,
be
wee.
delicious too. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So can we say a quick prayer? before
Yes, please.
Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, I thank you, God, for this food. I thank you for Tina. Thank you, Lord, for blessing her. Just so good. I pray that you would continue to keep her, continue to bless her business and grow her business. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right. So shall we dive in?
Yes, let's dive in.
There's so much I want to ask you.
Okay, let's
Tina,
go.
because you are, I think you're pretty amazing, and I want the people to get a glimpse of your amazingness.
Okay.
Let's start in the beginning. Like, what made you want to become a chef?
Well, see, in the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth,
Okay.
He created me too. And I've just been cycling over and over and over.
You've been rebirthed.
Yeah, I've been rebirthed continuously, I guess, until I get it right. And I haven't
Okay.
been able to,
You think you're getting it right this time?
you know what? I think I'll get it right the next time.
Okay.
Maybe not this time, because, I'm still a rebel. And God, me and Him, we have that relationship. you
Sure,
know?
sure.
He knows that, I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah.
But, He's going to make me keep doing it over until, I do
Okay.
it. I guess, right. But it's all right. We
Listen, as long as we
that.
try, right?
Yeah, as long as we try. So, but food was, especially in our culture, growing up Haitian, it's really big.
Were you born in Haiti?
No, I was not born in Haiti.
Okay.
I was actually born here. So
Okay.
they say. I think I was stolen. I don't really think my parents.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't look like anyone. I don't
You
act
lying.
like anyone.
You don't look like mom or dad?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't even act like them. It's all like I'm the black sheep.
Okay.
Right?
What were your parents entrepreneurs as well?
You know what? I grew up, my dad worked at a country club.
Okay.
And my mom was, she was like the hustler. So she did hair. So I grew up, like by 9, I was doing sew-ins. Helping her with sew-ins with her clients.
Wow.
Yeah. So she did everything. She sewed clothes. She woke us up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to the swap shop to buy stuff, and then we came back home and made a yard sale.
Yes.
So I've always been around that whole flipping,
hustlers.
Oh yeah, hustlers. And growing up in the hood, it was.
Where'd you grow up, Broward or Dayton?
I grew up right here in Lauderdale Manors, like 10 minutes away from here.
Okay.
So around that time, in the 90s, dope was pretty dope. It was big. So there was literally a guy on every corner. So I used to look at them like, okay, y'all stand out here, y'all flip, dope. I want to see if I could flip something.
Yeah.
So I started selling candy in the 5th grade.
That is so funny.
Yeah. Started selling candy in the 5th grade. I had my customers in the 5th grade that moved with me to middle school, and my friend Jerry, we were in class one day, and I would take orders. Now I'm taking orders, like I'm a corner store, okay? Like I'm doing pre-orders.
Okay.
And I told my mom, I was like, I need a 3-compartment book bag. One for my sodas to keep them cold. I was the only girl in school that had cold sodas.
You were slaying the sodas.
Oh yeah, I did. So I did the whole thing. I had a whole lunch bag. I had sodas, I had chips, I had candy bars, and the chocolate was separate from the hard candy.
Damn.
Like if you needed a pickle egg, just let me know. Like I had
You had a whole food store.
Absolutely, I had a whole food store and an order book. I had an ordering system.
Dang.
You feel me? So
in the 5th grade.
It started in the 5th grade, and then it got bigger, like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So now during lunchtime, because I know how to do hair and nails, my mom used to get all this nails from the swap shop. Yeah, so I would do people nails, braid their hair, do sew-ins, and then come after school and they come to my house and get their hair done. So it's always been, like that whole hustle thing, you know?
Yeah.
What you think? What you eating?
I mean, the oxtail, I think it's pretty good.
You like it?
Got a little kick to it.
Yes, we're very big on spices.
Yeah,
Very
big.
big.
I'm not big on spice.
Really?
I'm a little cowardly when it comes to spice.
Well, is it a good balance though?
It's a very good balance.
Okay, that's what's important. Like
Yeah.
you want flavors, but we always like a little kick because it kind of like offset, especially with like gamey food, it offsets it a little bit.
Got you. See, there's a whole science to this.
More love and wanting to do it because see, I grew up on the love of food itself. Like creating food wasn't really a chore, even though like it symbolized domestication. Okay, grill, clean, food, cook. It was more so you did it for love. So
Gotcha.
I grew up like before my dad even like walked in the house, like my mom was preparing his food on a porcelain plate, making sure his drink was made.
Yeah.
So I always looked at that
yes.
aspect of food, making sure that I loved it.
Yeah.
Because the end result of that at the end was just the most amazing thing. So definitely out of love. So that was dope.
So high school, you're doing hair, you're doing nails, you've been selling candy. So what's next? How did you get into?
Okay, so here's the thing. In a foreign family, you're either a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or an engineer. There's no other career.
Right.
So I didn't know about culinary. I didn't know that being a chef was a career. I didn't know that people do that. My mom never took us to restaurants. My godmother actually introduced me to restaurants. She would come pick me up. See, my mom was my hood side. My godmom, she was my what you call it, upper echelon side in
Yeah.
Palm Beach.
Yeah.
You know, we're going over bridges and seeing water.
Seeing water, yeah.
And I'm crying because I want to be in the hood.
Yeah,
You feel
yeah,
me? Like,
yeah.
take me back home. I didn't want the,
Yeah.
you know, upper echelon. But she exposed me to dining out.
That exposure is so important.
It was, and it gave me that balance. And once she showed me, like, okay, like there's somewhere you can go sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And but the whole time I'm a kid, I'm like 10, 11, 12. Who's feeding us? You know, is it just like shooting out of like a thing?
Right,
like,
right,
you know,
right.
I didn't understand the concept because our
Who's
mom,
back there?
Who's back there shooting the food
sure.
out? My mom never did that with us. So once I was exposed to it in that way, it opened up something, but not so much. Around 6, well, it opened up like, oh, people go out to eat. We never, ain't no going out to eat.
Yeah.
Like, y'all parents was probably like, we ain't got no McDonald's money. We didn't even know about McDonald's until high school.
Yeah.
I did not know about McDonald's until high school.
Facts.
So when she exposed me to it, I was like, okay, I guess this is a thing for these people.
Yeah.
You know, them folks.
Gotcha.
Us folks won't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
And so now I'm 16. 16 going on 17, and I'm starting to look at boys like, okay, maybe like boys to some capacity. And my first boyfriend, he had cable. We didn't know what that was. So I went to his house and the Food Network was on. I've never seen the Food Network. The only thing I was exposed to was whatever was free on TV. Okay, so I see cable and there's white people on a cooking show, the Food Network.
Yeah.
And it was only white people. So I was like, oh, that's a white person sport.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, you know, cooking and cooking shows is a white person sport, but I was into the food. Now, that's what really opened me up. And then it had a commercial for the Art Institute. And they're like, oh, come, we'll teach you how to be a chef with the big hat and the chef coat and whatnot. And I had a job. Eventually, now I looked at it, I explored it, like looked at it, just knew it was there. It was in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
I was always in pre-med, so I did pre-med in middle school, went into pre-med in high school, dropped out in high school, got my GED, and then I started doing like things like Concord, the little medical schools for billing and coding, and nothing ever stuck, you know. And I started working, and eventually I was working at the bank, and then I wanted in Pembroke Pines, and I wanted to transfer it, and I prayed about it. So I was like, God, if you transfer me to the bank on 17th Street Causeway, I promise I'll go to school. Like, I'll go to school and I'll start my career. Because I know the bank wasn't, you know the end all be all. I was amazing at it, but I know it wasn't the end. And I got the job and I started going to culinary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to point something out here. And to everybody watching, you mentioned you dropped out of high school, you got your GED. Education does not define your success.
Right.
Like, you don't need a degree to be successful. All you need is ambition, a strong work attitude, like you want to hustle, and persistence. Don't quit, but don't be fooled or tricked. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with college. I think college is great, but I also think college is not for everybody.
Facts.
It's not for everybody. It wasn't for me, you know, so it's not for everybody, but you can still be super successful without a college degree.
Facts.
I want to put that out there.
And see, I enjoy that so much because growing up, it's like if you didn't go to college, you didn't do, like, you were nothing. Like,
there's almost a stigma, like you're a loser.
Absolutely, that you're a loser. And I'm like, man, there's people out here that didn't even pass high school, and they're making more figures than anything. And I think the biggest, one of the biggest cons of, especially in our community, is the fact that they never taught us economics. You know, it was always work, save, nothing else, nothing past that. Like, we had banks coming to the school, as I don't know if you guys had it, but in elementary school they used to have a bank called Barnett Bank, and they would come to the school, they'll give you a piggy bank, and they just tell you to save your money. They never taught you how to make your money, make money.
They never teach you how to invest your money.
Never teach you how to invest your money.
But also, like you said, that exposure. Like at home, we're not exposed to success like growing up in the ghetto, right? Like we're not exposed to prosperity. What we're exposed to is paycheck to paycheck. You know, a scarce mentality. You know, turn off those lights. You know, you waste electricity. Light bill's gonna be too high. Turn off that water. Like that's what we're exposed to. That's that scarcity mentality. That paycheck to paycheck mentality. So it's tough for a lot of us because it's kind of like, you know, a race, and we get started late.
We get started late, and where are we going? They're not even telling us like how we should navigate, and they're not giving us their path.
Nope.
They're giving us the bare minimum.
Right.
So now it's on us to decide. Okay, well, you're not gonna give me the information, so I'm gonna just take it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm glad, like even like at this stage in the game where my business started like going like to places that I didn't even like, you know, like I've never like set big like goals that made me feel pressured at all because I like to live a, you know, like a worry-free life. Like that's
stress-free.
Stress-free, not putting, you know, these things, you know, this umbrella over me, like if you don't do this,
right.
You know, I just like to be free with it all. But now, you know, learning how to invest. I just got into stocks and bonds and doing, now I'm looking into foreign currency and trading those. Like,
absolutely.
After seeing like how you can flip it, and like you'll have all these thousands and six figures sitting in the bank, and they'll legit send you $5. You know, at the end of the month, like here's $5 after they made probably like $1 million off of it because
not even 1% interest.
Not even one. Not even one. So that really flipped the switch this year. So anyone that does business, like, which is why I want to develop a curriculum that shows people how to go through that path, so they won't wait so long to do it. Absolutely,
that's
like
huge.
From the beginning, you know, starting your restaurant business at your track house, all the way up to
that's huge.
You know, and doing that. Yeah, I wanna give our people the information. They're gonna have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But you know, it's worth more than gold.
And while you're talking about pay for it, another bomb I want to drop on y'all is don't be afraid to pay for mentorship, for coaching.
Facts.
Because I tell you what, if you do your due diligence, you do your homework, and you find somebody that knows what they're talking about, and they're willing to show you the ropes in exchange for payment, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like,
you're skipping steps.
Yeah, people be like, oh, well, I don't want to pay, I'll just go on YouTube and da-da-da.
Okay.
For instance, right? When I started in real estate, it took me 11 months to do my first deal. 11 months. Because I said, you know, I didn't have it to pay somebody. So I had to go the long road. Okay. But if I would have paid somebody for that mentorship, I'm sure I would have did my first deal in 3-4 months. You see what I'm saying? So you shorten that learning curve, and time is money. Like, time is money, guys. We don't have time to waste. So whatever can fast track you to success legally, you need to do that.
That's a fact.
You need to do that.
That's a fact. And the whole thing about it is
good, by the way.
It is. I have to try it. Pass me some. What's been good? Like the Griot. Griot's one of those things. It's hard.
It's hard?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate hard Griot.
I hate hard Griot.
Ugh, you're tearing up my gums.
Yeah. Like I just have to. You probably have to edit it out. I just have to spit a piece out.
No, okay, it's all good.
It's too hard.
Damn.
For my liking.
No.
And the conch is too, like, you can tell, like, you'll bite into the conch. It's not tenderized.
Damn.
So it's like chunks of conch, but you know you gotta like mallet it.
Absolutely.
So it can be good, and they didn't do that. And see, conch is actually one of the things that I love in Legume. So they would stew the conch in there too.
Yeah.
For additional flavor.
Yeah, I can't even stick it, chef.
Yeah. But try it, like, and it had potential to be so good because the breading is really light, but you're gonna chew.
Oh yeah,
it's not tenderized at all.
No.
They just cut it up. They just cut it and fry it.
Sure, that's what I love about you and your business. Like, you really pride yourself in your product.
Absolutely.
Right? Like,
you have to.
Can't nobody taste your season, taste your food, and be like, yo, chef doesn't care. She didn't like. Yo, your stuff is on point every time because you actually care.
I do.
I think if more restaurants cared, we'd be all happier.
It feels more so about quality, you know. But a lot of restaurants are more so cafeteria, like a good cafeteria style thing now. The quality is out the window. The customer service, forget about it. You know, especially if they know like it's something that people can't really get. You know, you're lucky if you get decent customer service. And that's another thing too that I want to go into teaching is the transitioning from, like, say, what I've been watching a lot lately is private chefs go from private chefing to opening restaurants. You cannot do that. Restaurant is a whole different beast. It is not the same with you cooking for 20 to now, you know, you're owning a whole production line and knowing what your prep levels need to be, knowing the logistics of each item and how you're putting them out. And so many chefs are failing miserably because they think that the private world like automatically gives them access, you know, especially since they cook for, you know, big names and stuff like that. But whether you cook for big names or not, transitioning from the private world to a commercial kitchen,
night and day,
man, forget about it. Forget about it. And see, that's why when I went into my career, I did everything. I worked the food truck. I built a restaurant from the ground up.
You worked food truck?
Yeah, I worked food truck. And see, I worked everything before I settled on one thing.
Got you.
I did the food truck. I did the private work. I did the home trap kitchen. I did a restaurant project where it was just a shell. Built it from the ground up, hired the plumbers, hired the electricians, hired the engineers, managed the entire project. I went into restaurants that were failing, like lunch and breakfast spots, brunch spots, and revamped their menu. And so eventually, before I went on by myself, for 4 years, I did 4 different contracts at 4 different restaurants.
Wow.
So every year I had a contract already waiting for me to come in to revamp their system.
People know, like, your face is good in these streets.
Oh yeah, especially in Broward County. Especially.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they all want me back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But see, that's the trail that you always want to leave. You always want it to be where you're an asset that they can't find anywhere else. Like, even when I was at Walmart, you know, I'm at Walmart, but I want to be the best cashier.
Absolutely.
You know, and then I went from being the best cashier, I want to be the best customer service personnel.
Yeah.
I went from that to I want to be the best HR personnel. I went to hiring. Like, literally everything that God put in my path set me up for my moment.
Facts.
You know, now. So I know how to hire. I know how to screen. I know about payroll. I know about benefits.
All that experiment. All that experience.
Yeah, all that experience put me in my moment now. And people are scared to do the, you know, $7, $8 jobs. If it's something I've never done before,
Facts.
I'm doing it. Like, if a chef called me for an event, and that's how I learned how to do catering events and stuff. Chefs would call me because they hear about my work ethic, and at the end of the night, I'll be lucky if they shoot me $50 after working 10 hours. But in the same token, I was getting that experience. That wasn't my event where I had to pay for food and I had to pay payroll. I went in just to see how it worked, and now I implemented the systems that I wanted when I started catering because I was able to go get that experience. And even if it was $50, it covered the gas, so I wasn't tripping. Even if they paid nothing, because it's like an idea or a concept, if it's something I never did, I was there.
Wow.
I was going to do it.
That's another key. If you see somebody in whatever industry it is that you want to be in, and you see them doing it big, don't be afraid to go and ask for an internship.
For free.
I know everybody want their money, but listen, if you volunteer your time and say, yo, I will intern for free to basically learn, it's pretty much guaranteed they're gonna say, okay, bet, come on through. I'm gonna teach you the ropes.
Absolutely.
And intern. So
absolutely. And then you take the information and you build from that. Like, absolutely. People don't understand how much real life experiences are so much bigger than going to school. Culinary school did not teach me business. About the culinary school taught me, come to school, go work on a yacht. Come to school, go work in a restaurant for the rest of your life. Yeah. Come to school and maybe you'll land a dope private chef gig. But we're not going to tell you how you're supposed to get paid. We're not going to teach you invoices. We're not going to teach you logistics. They can't give you the real life experience. So when people come to me and they're like, I want to go to culinary school, or I got accepted into XYZ school. What do you think? You can go learn all that shit on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You can go learn all that stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
You do not need to go to culinary school to learn the game. And culinary school really can't teach you how to cook. It'll expose you to different cuisines, which is what it did for me.
Yeah.
But you can still learn that online.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing. It's nothing to Google African cuisine or Latin cuisine.
Yeah.
Like Moroccan cuisine, Indian cuisine. It's nothing to Google it. And we're in Florida, so it's a melting pot. We have an Indian store, we have a Chinese store. Yeah, we have access to all these ingredients that other places typically would not. And that's another thing too. Chefs always think like they have to move to Georgia or California to make it big.
New York,
and you do not. Our resources are so limitless in Florida, which is why I like Florida, because everyone is here, and the people that aren't here want to come here. So this is like prime for business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a dope scene as long as you know how to work the game.
That grill was hard like leather.
I'm telling you, you say I ain't even touched the plan. But the legume is good. The legume's pretty good. The only thing with our culture in the food though, like they don't know what skimming the fat is. So you saw that oil we had, like, and all it takes is for you to take the spoon and take it off the top.
Scoop it off the top.
But that extra finesse, like those are the things in food that I always look at. That make you like, okay, like you're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't go through that extra level of finesse and making sure that it's perfect, like that.
Yeah.
And when I think about food in my business, I think about me wanting my customers to always be here too. Me educating, like, so people will sometimes get upset because I'm getting like maybe like 2 months ago, I was telling people get Bitcoin. Bitcoin was like what? Maybe at the time like 32K. But I get it. Everybody don't have 32K, and that's okay. Put a percentage in there.
Sure.
Because either way, like the Bitcoin went from 32 to now I think it's like 56K.
Yeah.
So I'm telling them like you're gonna make an extra $100, whether it takes you 2 weeks. That's still $100 that the bank wasn't gonna give you for sitting your money in their in their bank. So people are like, why do you give so much game, and why do you? Well, okay, if I don't tell my people how to make money, the people that support me, how are we gonna rotate this money that y'all say that y'all want to keep in the Black community? You feel me? And on top of that, if you tell me you're on a diet, you're not coming in here every day to get a cake. I will stop you.
Right.
My staff know we gonna stop you. Tina said you can't have this. So if you tell me that you got goals and stuff like that, I'm gonna see how we gonna work together and make sure you achieve it. Because I'd rather have you here as a forever customer than a just now. And I think a lot of restaurants don't think about that when they feed, especially our community.
Sure.
Soul food is good. You feel me?
Yeah.
Soul food is, you gotta limit it. You gotta know how to make it too. You can make good soul food that isn't gonna clog your arteries, and the portion. Just give people normal portions. I don't need a whole plate that's 4 servings.
Yeah.
Give me a normal plate that looks nice instead of looking like food, Capisteria style, swamped on the plate. Give me a little bit of everything.
But I feel like there's something also in the Black community, our relationship with food. Like in Black households, I know growing up, we didn't eat the healthiest stuff.
We didn't. But here's the thing. While we didn't eat the healthiest stuff, we were outside playing.
That's facts.
So whatever we intook, we burned.
Yeah.
In most cases, as long as we weren't over. Now we had a couple of chubby kids, but the chubby kids really weren't, a whole lot. Like now, forget about it. They got the Nintendo. They sit in front of that Nintendo. You don't see kids outside on a bike, on rollerblades, on skateboards. It's not. And then they need the sun. Yeah. You feel me? So I like. The way I do food is like a total health, body, energy thing. Like there were times where if I didn't feel like cooking, I really didn't feel like it, I would cancel food service because I didn't want that energy being transferred. I feel like my energy transferred into my food, into my cuisine. So it might have been a day where my food probably wasn't that great. Everybody don't have amazing days. I try my best though. I ain't gonna front. I'm pretty good at what I do.
Yes, you are.
But if I know there were probably days where I probably wasn't feeling like it, but I pushed through, and people just thought it was the most amazing thing just because, I had to shift my energy a certain way, and I get so much grace from my tribe.
Absolutely.
I get grace because even if they get one bad meal, they're like, man, she done made me 100 meals. This is perfect. You know what I mean? And that's the relationship you kind of want to build with your clientele. And our clientele is like you see how I dress them, like this is our tribe. You know what I mean? You're not just customers to me. Like we actually talk and we converse. I care about how's your son, how's your daughter, type of thing.
Makes a difference.
It makes a big difference, and it keeps the quality too. Not only the quality in your products, the quality in your clientele as well. So that's big too in business.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to ask you. So, culinary school. How did you get to open your first location here, this location?
Well, actually, nothing to do with culinary school again. Culinary school doesn't teach you how to open up a restaurant.
Yeah.
You have one class that wants you to make a restaurant menu, wants you to find a location, wants you to talk about decor. That's it. Nothing extensive. I actually, because I see a lot of our restaurants, you know, around that I would frequent, and Sister Sarah's used to have a food truck. There are a few doors down.
Sister Sarah's.
Yeah, garlic crab.
Okay.
And I would on the weekends after food service when I was working at the Lobster Bar Monday through Friday, making $11 an hour. But while I was there, I was taking pre-orders for my food service on the weekends. So on the weekends, absolutely, that's all I know. So on the weekends after food service, I would go to their food truck because it was open late. And we just built a relationship from there. We would buy food from each other. We would repost each other's work all the time. And what happened? I was in the 3500 building, matter of fact. This is how God ordered. Like, it was divine how it happened. We had a lady complaining about us, you know, saying that they always smell food and, you know, just always complaining to the building people about us. And they don't understand why our lines are always so long. Our lines go from our door to the front door. Like, they're like, what do you do? Like, what's so special about you? And so they would constantly submit complaints on us. And those our own people. It was a Haitian lady. But that's neither.
Be the main ones.
Man, but it's okay. That's just how God intended it to be. You need people like that a lot of times. So we had to find a spot. I wasn't actively looking for a spot. But, you know, I was chilling. I was like, you know what? The universe is going to have to work it out. It is what it is. January 3rd, I got a phone call from the owner, Sister Sarah. And he was like, yo, Tina, I'm selling this spot. And, you know, you always showing us love and reposting us. Here's the numbers. It was a 5-figure number. You got it? You want it? I was like, let me get that.
Wow.
You know, let me get that. So I ended up actually buying this as a turnkey, but it was a chicken and waffle spot.
Okay.
So we got graffiti everywhere, Los.
Yeah.
Black walls, black ceiling.
Yeah.
And how I always envisioned if I did have a production kitchen, because remember now, I'm producing at home, transferring to the office space that we have. Gotcha. It wasn't a production space there. So now I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go get that. I cut them the check, got the place, but didn't assess everything fully.
Yeah.
So my construction, it almost took me out.
Damn.
But
very pricey. It
was still a feel that I wanted to give my tribe.
Sure.
You know, like when people pass by here, like they're like, a white restaurant? Like, who has a white restaurant? You know, people want dark walls, so you won't see stains. People aren't trying to keep up with the maintenance. That's why restaurants are always, they're everything but white.
Interesting.
But white is so inviting, and then the blue for the ocean, the gray for the calmness.
It's very tranquil.
Very tranquil.
I feel like I'm in an island somewhere.
Absolutely, and that's the feel that I wanted, and I paid for it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of things that I want to do, but then that's a whole nother curriculum too, like how much money you should put into a building.
Okay.
Not so much. It's not yours. You can't walk away with it. So you have to remember to, if anything, pace yourself. But eventually, we're gonna move into a standalone.
Yeah.
But that's how this came about. They called me and they were like, you know, you're the first person I thought of. Do you want it?
Wow.
And I hopped on it.
And how long have you been here?
January made a year.
Wow.
Yeah, January made a whole year. In the pandemic, remember?
Last
year, January, we bought it. Pandemic hit in March. So we were only 2 months in.
Wow.
Into the Reno, and we didn't open until April. So now remember, my little old office at 3500 building is sustaining here. sustaining my home, sustaining the construction workers. You feel me? Like, you have to really be smart. It was a crazy time, but we were nothing short of blessed, like, the whole time. Like, I can't, and I did the whole project cash. But I didn't know. My brother, there was like 3 big transactions, like my Blodgett and my food line, my gas burner stove with grill. I want to say that was like a whole nother like $15K. And so everything I profited the first 3 months here, I paid off. Like,
awesome.
I don't like bills.
Awesome.
I'm big on not liking bills, and that's like kind of like one of the mindsets I feel like we need to have as Black business owners. Make your profit, take care of your bills, take care of your people. Being debt free in your business, okay? Making sure you pay your people, because the last thing you want, I've seen so much Instagram beef over I didn't get paid, or we're in a business transaction. I'm 100% my owner. You know what I mean? I've never wanted, drama per se, not with my customers, not with business partners, but my family's very hands-on with it. So, we take care of each other, but that's big in our business. And I think that's worth a class too.
Absolutely. You're so full of knowledge. Like,
I've been through everything, Los. I've been homeless. I'm a high school dropout. 2 divorces. I got shit to tell people. You feel me?
But look at you today.
It's a glory story.
Blessed up, man.
It's a glory story. And it's always going to be a glory story. And if I can help someone not make the mistakes or not go through what I went through, then I definitely, I feel like that's my purpose. So when people thank me, I get all embarrassed, because I feel like, what else would I be doing? This is my service.
Yeah, you are truly a servant of the people.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. This is so dope.
Listen,
I'm honored.
I'm the one that's honored.
No, I'm honored, Lois. Like, you're amazing. I can't wait to see the work you do.
Thank you. I appreciate
more work that you do.
I really do.
And your wife is bomb. Hey, Deb, girl, what's popping, baby?
Thank you for the tea, wife. Thank you for the tea.
Yes, I love the tea. Definitely got to get into that. I want to go into apparel too.
Me too.
Definitely want to go into apparel.
Me too, for sure. Got to have some merch.
Listen, that's a whole nother market that you can touch into, and just by wearing. People always want to know, especially on my stories, what are you wearing? Where you got that from? I'm like, don't worry about it, I got you. I'm coming. Just give me a few minutes. That's another thing that I like doing too now, developing other people, and showing them the roaster business. I'll invest in their business freely. I don't want nothing back. Just what do you need to get this popping? So that's why a lot of times you'll see people like shout out on my stories and stuff like that, especially if you have something that people need. Like, I love doing that.
Wow. Creator, investor, chef, boss queen, child of God.
Listen, God's
favorite.
You
are amazing.
God's favorite is.
You are amazing.
Listen, think about it. If we develop each other and continue to spread each other, like the if I fail, I come to you, Los. Listen, I'm backed up on payroll. Let me get 2K. I got you in 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
You feel me? If we all build each other, we won't ever need a white person.
Nope, we can't fail.
We cannot fail, and that's how it should be. To where we're all making sure that we're all making it. Now, if we give you the information, you don't take it, you don't want to do nothing. That's cool. That's completely on you. But in the meantime, we have to create what they used to give us in school, a winner's circle. You feel me? We have to create this winner's circle to where it's a circle. Somebody might be tipping, but we're there to catch you. Like, we're not gonna let you. How can we redo your format to make it work? Like, I don't know if you know this with here, we did food service every weekend. I got tired of dealing with staff. You feel me? That was one of my biggest things, to where now nothing in business is worth your peace of mind, because eventually people are going to taste that. People are going to taste, I'm just doing this because I need to make ends meet. I've never wanted that for my business. So I went on to, okay, you know what? I'll pull back. I don't need 4 menu items. I'll freak this kitchen by myself. 1 menu item, I'm going to sell that out. I'll payroll. Ain't no payroll. Got 2 employees right now. That's all I'm working with. And then I got 2 part-timers. And then 1 social media person that I'm working with now. Yeah, make it work for you. You
Absolutely.
can always reformat.
Absolutely.
Now we're doing classes. We're doing painting classes with courses. Switch
Yeah.
it up. Change format. You never fail. Like a lot of people that fail is because they were afraid to restructure. And you can restructure and still make just as much money. And even if you have a decrease, there's nothing wrong with making $200,000 a year.
Right.
A lot of people. That's better than a lot.
That's better than most people.
Okay. So like being okay with retracting and living a modest lifestyle until you can, live your life though, go get what you want to get. But in the meantime, make sure your investments are in order, your portfolios are in order. It's not make $1,000 in profit a day and go get the biggest chain.
Right.
Like there's really no harm in that.
Go buy the biggest TV.
Go buy the biggest TV, go get the best car, go to the club, blow all the bottles. Listen, that shit is for the birds.
Yeah.
Okay, that stuff you could do back then. The bottles were only $20.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a bottle you could buy a bottle at the liquor store for $40. You're paying $200 for it in the club.
It just, that never equated to me, and I guess that's why I was never like a big club guy. Like paying $40 at the liquor store for a bottle, and then going to the club and paying $200 for what? For what?
Didn't even make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But you know what? Because they got us. You feel me? And we don't have any ambition. So we see the
We gotta
hood.
stunt.
We're like, the hood is where it's at. You feel me?
And nobody cares.
Nobody cares at the end of the day.
cares. Yeah.
So we both gonna be in the same six foot box.
Absolutely.
At the end
of the day. So, Chef, I want to wrap this up, but I want to ask you one last thing. I want you to, and you've just been dropping bombs like all day, but if you could say anything to them, just like a quick inspirational drop, real quick. Whatever's on your heart, just like give it to them.
Inspirational drop. Set your intentions. I'm very big on knowing exactly what you want and working to get there. And then discipline. Discipline will take you places that motivation never will. Like discipline makes me go to the gym. Remember when you talk about food and total health, people can't look at me. I realize that, in the long run, people can't look at me and see this, 500-pound chef dishing out this food, because eventually they're going to be that 500-pound chef
Absolutely.
too. I can only give you my capacity. You feel me? I can only give you what I have. And that makes it's always whatever you want, it's attainable. There's literally there's things that I've attained that I didn't even know I wanted.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So motivational wise, set your intentions, which is deciding exactly what you want out of life.
Yeah.
Working to get it, realizing that you need a certain schedule, right? So I know that I didn't want to deal with the staff anymore, right? So that means I need to be out of bed by 7:30 to get to the gym by 8, get out by 10 so I can open the store at 12.
Yeah.
I come in at 12, I stay until 4, I still have a whole day left.
That's awesome.
My next person comes in at 4 and covers the rest of the shift until 7.
Yeah.
They still have a whole life left. You feel me? So that discipline, I don't even have anything inspirational. Discipline yourself and your life will fall according to how you set your intentions.
Yeah.
What you set your intentions to. Nothing is ever the end.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks like one situation,
one loss
determines the rest of their lives. I've seen people come back at 60 years old, 70 years old. Nothing is the end ever. Take it from someone like I was worse than homeless. I was sleeping in cars, on stairs, with sheets in the wintertime. You could have never told me, and at that point where I was at, that I would have been here today, in this capacity, and helping, now being able to help people, I would have never done that. So just that's the biggest thing. Nothing is the end. You can always start over.
Yeah.
You can always start over and you can always do it better. And then look at the situation. See, a lot of people like to dwell on the loss versus the lesson. Like, take that thing, figure out, okay, where
Don't
you went
dwell
wrong.
on the loss, dwell on the lesson.
Dwell on the lesson. Figure that out. Okay, that's where I messed up at. Now go back again. Now you probably have to go back a couple of times, but you're only going back. Remember what I said? God gonna make you go through it until you learn what you need to learn.
Facts.
So go back through it, pinpoint where you went wrong, do it over, and each step is gonna get better and better and better. And then you keep going. You just keep going from there.
That's so good.
Thank you.
That is so good. You are so good.
I get it from you. I see your stuff, man. Like your stuff. Your family is dope. Your family is dope.
Family is number one for me.
Absolutely, and that's what we went into. Also, I was telling my friend last night how we didn't really have like that family unit growing up. It wasn't until now. I don't know what shifted in our family, but now we're thick as thieves. Like we have a whole group chat. We talk to each other every day.
That's cool.
You know, so that's pretty dope. And you know what? Family don't even have to be blood.
Yeah.
A lot of people think because they don't have blood family. Now you create after you become an adult.
Yeah.
You need to create your family, your own family.
Absolutely.
Because even your blood family cannot stay your family.
Absolutely.
Some of them are toxic.
Yeah.
You know, get
Very
that toxic shit out.
Yeah.
But this is dope. We should definitely do it again.
No,
and the topic is gonna have to be you. I'm gonna have to interview you, though. Like, I'm gonna just let you know.
My story is not nearly as exciting as yours.
But it's a story that someone needs, though.
Facts.
Someone is always gonna need your story. I was talking to my friend about that because she felt like she didn't have a product that she felt like if she didn't do her product a certain way, people wouldn't like it because she was looking at how other people are doing theirs. And because they were so-called popular, she felt like she had to use the same form. And I was like, no, someone out there wants your stuff because of you.
Your story.
Okay, they need your story and they need your product however you're going to present it, because at the end of the day, we can't service everybody. That's why I don't have no problem shouting out a restaurant, shouting out people that do cakes, shouting out people that do drinks. Please. Cause some of these customers I don't even want them. You got something they want? You know what I mean? I like you get to an age and to a level of peace, and a desire to always be in this tranquil space, right? That you know that everything is not for you. Like I had a customer, she placed a pickup order, and she went and filed a dispute on me on PayPal. She said that we never contacted her. She didn't have an email address. She didn't have a phone number. There was no way to contact her. So I emailed her. I said, hey, I just got your dispute. I don't have a problem with refunding you, but this is how it goes, because I was only able to answer her through PayPal. I said, this is how it goes when you order pickup. And she was like, yeah, just refund me, please. I said, no problem. I refunded her. I said, have a great weekend. Thank you so much for shopping with me or attempting to shopping with me. Like things like that. And some people hate that.
Yeah.
I've had people I've had to refund and block off my website. Don't even worry about it. I don't even want your money. Everything isn't for me.
Stay away.
Yeah. Everything isn't supposed to be for you. What's for you ain't going to give you no headaches.
Absolutely.
And now you might have some problems with a couple of people and stuff, but that's the relationship you eventually develop. But if from the gate, typically, they acting a fool.
Yeah.
Listen, leave that where leave it where it's at.
Yeah.
Leave it where it's at. This was dope, Los.
This was dope, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I know you guys got bombs and knowledge drops like crazy. Chef, thank you so much for setting
on
this
a
up.
Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Going up.
It's going up. We're putting in work on a Sunday, y'all. But listen, what's your social media? How can they find you?
Oh, social
Instagram,
media,
YouTube, and the link's gonna be below. But give us to us anyway.
It's on all social media platforms. I just got on YouTube. I'm on TikTok, and I'm on Instagram as chef_Tina Lee. Very simple.
Boom.
That's a big business thing too. Get something that people can remember.
Yeah, I saw you schooling those young ladies.
Listen, I went to an audition for Food Network, and they asked for your name. This was a year. I was probably just fresh out of culinary school, maybe 24, 25, and they needed my name. And my actual name is long and tongue twisting. And it wasn't until after the audition I was like, I need a better name. So I shortened my name and I made it rhyme. Chef Tina Lee. Well, it doesn't really rhyme, but that
it has
easiness,
a ring to it.
It has a ring to it. And people typically, when they come in here, they're like, oh, I thought this was now they see the Haitian flag, but they're like, I thought this was a Chinese store. This guy cussed me out because he came in and used our bathroom. During COVID, you can't. Everything was shut off. And he used it. He was walking out. He was like, this isn't even yours. shit, this is a Chinese man's restaurant. I was
After
like,
he
what?
used your bathroom.
Yeah. I was like, this is a Chinese man's restaurant. And I'm like, nah. So the name is a big thing because and I tell them all the time, if I'm trying to look for your name and it's taking too long, I'll be like, no, I'll tell you, I'll get it later, and I'll never get it. That means you never get my business. That means I could never expose you to other people. So that's big too, making sure that you have a handle.
Make sure your social media handle is easy to access.
Yeah, unique too.
Don't do nothing crazy.
Yeah, everybody want to name all their businesses after their grandma mesothelioma.
Yeah.
It's like, listen.
How do I look that up?
How do I look? I don't even know how to spell that. Okay, I max out at 6 letters, honey. Okay, give me the easiest 6 letters you got because anything past that, if it has more than 4 syllables, it ain't for me.
Yeah, it's not going.
I won't even do business with you. If I can't remember your name, I can't even do business with you.
Yeah.
And always leave an impression. They always have to have something to remember you. Like how you got your intro. Like I always see the intro. Even when I don't see your post, I always see the intro. Like it's a mark that you leave with people. And that consistency, it's
major key.
That's major key. Being consistent. Posting when
and that's with anything in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistency, discipline, and setting your intentions. That's all you need. And that's half of the formula there.
Boom.
That's half of the formula there.
Boom.
You want to take any of this food?
No.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, love.
I'm good.
Who said that? Future? I'm good,
I'm good,
love.
I'm good. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next vlog. We're out. Peace.
Thank you.
That was good.
Vai, yeah. Vai.